Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Solar Justice Radio Show, Monday morning quarterback. I'm your host, Doug Evans, the unknown icon. Some people call me Hannibal Smith. Got the minister of information, the straw, the stirs, the drink. Fact Tom, what's poppin', yo?
What's going on, Doug? I don't think people call you Hannibal Smith anymore. As a matter of fact, they saying you're getting a little soft in your old age. You didn't relax some now. So I don't know about the Hannibal Smith, but okay, we'll let you rock with it. But they saying the word on the street is you're not Hannibal Smith no more.
For
Man.
real?
Saying,
Well, I done got some of it nicer folks.
Yep, they say you more like Alice in Wonderland. Couple of things. First, what's the song that plays on the intro?
That's hey man, that's Doe the Paperboy song. Man, I've been playing it on the radio a lot, 91.3 WVST. Yo, speaking about Doe the Paperboy, you want to check him out? He's performing this Friday on I Believe in Petersburg Part 2. This Friday, 5 p.m. at the Halifax Sea Triangle. You gonna be down there? It's the rally. It's the rally to vote for the casino coming to Petersburg. Since you tapped in with that, how you feel about that, Fat Tom?
Absolutely, I'm gonna be there. I think it's gonna change the state of Petersburg. Now, I wasn't blessed enough to be here in Petersburg when y'all had Browns and Williamson and everything, but they told me Petersburg was a different city back then. And now what I do remember is that Petersburg had almost zero crime. They only had like 2 and 3. If they had 7 murders, it was strange, So when you start bringing back jobs, which is what I think the youth and the city as a whole needs. I think the pride that Petersburg used to have now. I wasn't up here much, but I went to Manchester and we used to play Petersburg, so I would come down here and go down in the hole for the games. It was a lot of Petersburg pride. Now, I still see the pride. People say it's really this and it's that, and I go, nah, Petersburg is a pretty respectful city. I went to the homecoming, Petersburg High homecoming. I saw no problem. You know the problems you see where people just taking cheap shots on players, talking trash. There was none of that. It was nothing but love. So I disagree with the narrative that Petersburg don't know how to act and they disrespectful, because I'm out here with all these young guys. I know the kids that's in high school now because my daughter's in high school, and they all go to Petersburg, and they are some of the most respectful young men and women that I've met. So I know I hear people saying it, but I haven't experienced it, and I'm happy to have not experienced it. I think they got a bad rap. I think like poverty and the problem, we last in health in Petersburg. I don't know if you're aware of that, but in the state of Virginia, Petersburg is dead last in health. We don't have a lot of grocery stores, and definitely we have a lot of food deserts. But through all of that, we still seem to rise. We still seem to be happy. Yes, it's a few, situations that happen in the city, but in any city you're gonna have some situations.
That's
so
true.
I mean,
so what do you think about the people who saying? Because I've talked to a few people, and I keep hearing they say, well, they don't want to vote yes to the casino because it's going to bring crime to the city.
Well, I would ask them what statistics they look
Right.
at, because
I said the same thing.
If we go to Vegas, on the Strip, there's no crime. You can go out there. Look, you could go out there and tape $1,000 bills to you and walk down the street, and ain't no problems. If you go to what's it, Atlantic City, no problem. If you in Mississippi where the riverboats are, no problem. When you in Maryland at the MGM, no problem. So what are you talking about? Plus, let me understand this right. The city gonna come here. They're gonna build a $1.2 billion casino. Now that look like a lick. When you just immediately think, you go, well, if it's $1.2 billion down there, it looks like a lick. But with that, the police department in all these cities is always increased. So no one, plus, let me say this. Petersburg, when I say there's no crime, I mean there's no carjackings. Like, this is crime. When you riding down the street in a city and somebody rush up to you and bust your window and say, "Get out the car,"
Right.
that's crime.
Mm.
When you in a place where they sell drugs and something go down, that ain't crime. You had no business over there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at that as that's what goes with those kind of things.
Right. Right.
So if
Okay.
you got a casino here, that's not, they make it seem like literally now people gonna start getting robbed. I would say there's gonna be less crime. I believe all the crime that we have in this city is based on lack of jobs. So if you solve the working problem, because I get the impression that people in Petersburg want to work. So I don't know who these people running into, but the majority of the people I run into, if they could get a job, they take a job. So it's been my experience that people with jobs ain't out robbing people. Now, if you're talking about crime like hustling and selling drugs, that's in every city. The only crime we really need to be worrying about is assaults and armed robberies. And we don't have those anyway. So you telling me now that we got jobs, now that we've increased the city, that's going to increase the armed robberies? I don't think so. Show me a statistic that says when jobs come, people start robbing. That just don't make
Right.
sense to me. So
Right.
I would say if that's your reason for not voting, you just a hater. Really, because you haven't studied nothing. You don't have no stat. Quote a stat. Give me something. Tell me where you read that. So I can. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right.
Tell me where you read it so I could go look that up. Because I've been in all these cities that have legalized gambling and have casinos, and I've never seen crime in those areas. Never. And I've been to practically all of them in the United States, and I ain't never ever
And it's
experienced
funny.
any
It's
crime.
funny because the same people that say that, like you said, when they go on vacation or they want to get away, they go right to those cities,
Right, they
right?
go right now. Man, Atlantic City, Vegas. I'm going to Vegas for the weekend. What about the crime? We
Right.
shouldn't go to Vegas. They bring crime in. Man, I,
They go
I
to
used to
they
get
go to
up.
Maryland. They go to Maryland Live. They go
That's
right.
what dude told me the other day. He always at Maryland Live. I'm like, okay, but and actually, that's when in the same breath he was telling me he don't think we should get one, and I'm going, that don't even make sense to me. He said that's because people ain't gonna know how to handle it. I said now you sound like a pastor. The people can't handle the truth. The people can handle a casino because I don't believe people that don't gamble gonna start gambling. I don't think that. I think what we should do here in Petersburg is what they do in every other city. We don't go to the casino for the gambling. We go there for jobs and we go there for entertainment.
Right.
Don't
Right.
start now all of a sudden trying to think you're gonna make $1 million. And it's not like roses. The thing I've been hearing is people think it's gonna be like roses. I said no. We build a resort and spa. The casino is a small portion of the resort, spa, and retail space. They're talking about 6 or 9 restaurants, all these retail stores and stuff, along with hotel rooms and a spa. So the average person is not gonna get off Friday and feel comfortable running over there in their after work uniform trying to gamble. People that's gonna go over there are gonna get dressed because it's a resort. The majority of the people are gonna come from out of town. Yes, it's gonna be some folk that go over there because there's some folk that drive to Richmond and Roses.
Right.
I say,
Right.
do y'all realize y'all on Midlothian Turnpike over South Side? You want to talk about crime? I mean, I listen to people in Richmond tell me, well, Petersburg got a lot of crime. You live in Richmond. How in the world you gonna tell me we got crime in Petersburg and you live in Richmond? Y'all got crime in Richmond. We don't really. I haven't seen one fight. I've been here since 2000. Oh, I have seen one. I take that back. I've seen one fight since 2007. And that was a domestic dispute. That was a guy and his baby mama. And she did the fight and she assaulted him. I had to call the police and testify. Yep, called the police. I said, I pay taxes. I'm a citizen. I'm not a snitch. I am a citizen who saw a man being assaulted by his wife, and the police pulled up and locked him up. I had to go
So
across the street and say, yo, he didn't start this. He didn't hit her. She hit him. He ran in the store. We had to put her out the store. And when he came out the store, she attacked him again. Then y'all came up here and arrested him because she called the police. I said, what in the world? How?
so everybody come out this Friday, 5 p.m. the Halifax Street Triangle. where they have the jazz festival, the blues festival. Come on out. Free food while supplies last. Free entry. Man, it's gonna be crazy. Jay Tuck and the crew, Doe the Paperboy. That song, that's a dope song
That's a
too.
dope song,
Uh,
man. I like that.
it's
I'm
going
gonna have
down.
to go download that. Is it on all
I'm gonna
platforms?
send it to you, Fat Tommy. Apparently, you haven't been listening to the show because you already like, man, you playing that to death. Yeah, it's a really dope song, yo.
It is. I like it, and it's killing
So
the
everybody,
intro.
come out, man. We really appreciate it. We'll get more information about vote yes for this casino, man. Come to Petersburg. I tell everybody, like, I'm from Petersburg, and I heard so many times like the city went down after Brown and Williamson left. Kings Dominion, all this should have came to Petersburg, and people voted on a lot of stuff. So this is our chance to change that narrative, right?
Yes, it is. I think we should take advantage.
That's right. All right, let's get back to the football. And I feel you 100%. I'm so happy Dallas got beat, but I felt funny. It was like, well, why did we do that? And also, let me say this before I forget. George Pickens, they was on him last week about complaining about not getting the ball. I see this week it was a concerted effort to get him the ball, and it opened up the offense. So he was right. You see what I'm saying? It's a shame that you gotta do all that. You want your players to be professional, but he has to do all his antics so they can get him the ball, right?
I might get on the Doug Evans boat of nope. I'm not gonna suggest that it's the coach and he making bad mistakes. I'm not gonna suggest that because he's never had a losing season.
Man, I'm
But
so tired of hearing that.
what I will say is I really don't understand because they didn't just get beat. They got mollywopped in Detroit. Like they literally were in Dallas. But they got destroyed, and I can't even figure out how we couldn't beat it. If y'all could get beat that bad by Detroit, I'm questioning. Like I've been an advocate saying we looking great. We going to Super Bowl. We did have a hiccup last week. We fixed it this week. We ain't playing nobody but Las Vegas, so I can't really be but
Hey, did
so
you
happy.
did you see those fans, the Steelers fans in Las Vegas? We took over that joint.
I saw the crime in Vegas. That's all. I couldn't even see no fans. There was so much crime out there. I didn't see no fans. But yeah, I saw. I think the two things I think is true is that the Cowboys and the Steelers have the best fans in football. That I don't think there's no way around that. That's absolutely a fact because Dallas fans is everywhere, like the Steeler fans everywhere. Uh, but also Detroit ran over top of them,
Right.
and I said to myself,
Yeah.
well, I felt like we could have won. I felt like we went against everything we had been doing the first few weeks. I felt like
Right.
somebody tried to fix something that won't broke. Like why we ain't just run the ball, get the run game started, and then start passing like we did for the first 5 games. I don't understand what happened, but I think we repaired it because I know it was just Vegas, but we still look like we were back to the way we were playing. I think if we continue to run the ball, give Henry his option, get the ball to Pickens, I think we'll be fine. I mean, we you're gonna lose some along the way. I didn't believe we was gonna have an undefeated season, but
It's just that game was so winnable, right?
that's what
Man.
I. But I heard a wise man tell me that the games we should win and can win is the ones we lose. So you've been a lifetime Steelers fan, so whenever I have problems and I feel this way, I just look back on the words of wisdom that you gave me through these years. Because over the years, I've heard you say so much, and I tell myself, no sense getting worried, Tommy. Doug told you this was coming. That's how I make it through the season. So, what about they saying Baltimore got the best offense out there?
Man, I'm telling you, Derrick Henry, man. Whoo, whoo. And but Washington, I still give that rookie Jaden Dan. I give up. He still looked great.
Man, Washington is going to be a good opponent. They're going to have a few good seasons. This is just the beginning, I think, for them. I think you can look for them to go for a run.
Man, what would you say? I got a bet. I got these two bets. Well, I got three bets. I don't know. I was thinking I got in the moment, and hey, I got a bet that we will win our division. I got a bet that we will have a better overall record than the Dolphins, and I got a bet that we would beat the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
What my money
Better
looking like?
record than the Dolphins. You got that one. Tua
Check.
out. He ain't coming
Check,
back.
Lamont.
You don't have to worry about that bet. You're gonna win that one.
Got it. Got it.
Beating the Redskins. I mean the Commanders. Um, ooh, I would say we're gonna win that game, but the Redskins, as long as we do what we've been doing right now. Not if
Watch,
we go in there and try to
but watch,
change.
watch, watch my prediction. If if the if the mainstream media is saying we're gonna get mollywop and we're gonna get the crap beat out of us,
We're
and
gonna
they and
win.
they praising them,
We're
we
gonna
gonna
win.
beat them.
If
We
we the
gonna win.
favorite, forget about
Forget about it.
it.
If they go like on a 2-game losing streak and we start winning and they said the hot Steelers is coming in, we gonna lose. So I'm
Well,
telling you that right now. But if
I think
if they hyping them up and they say we don't stand a chance, we're gonna win.
I believe my prediction is you're gonna win all three of them bets.
All 3 of them.
All three of them. We're gonna
That's
win the
what I'm talking
division.
about.
We're
Money's
gonna win the
good.
division. I'm down. I'm actually getting ready to order me a terrible towel. I don't even have a towel. I'm getting ready to order me a towel. You got all three of those because we already lost to the Cowboys. I
Right.
don't believe that we'll lose two. Like those is 2 games. You can't lose both of them. That's almost like if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, they never beat the Redskins. If the Redskins beat the Super Bowl, go to Super Bowl, they can't beat the
Commanders.
Cowboys. We can't lose those 2 games in one season. That's unheard of. Won't happen.
It seems
Will
like you
not
can't.
happen.
Why are you having trouble with Washington Commanders? Why are you still having problems with that?
Well, I like the Commanders, but what happens is,
I'm
and I
talking
like
about the
their
name. I'm talking. You keep saying the Redskins.
because if I'm 58 for 55 of the years they was the Redskins. That's like, you know what, I understand now how people, I used to go call that man Ali. I don't know how y'all keep messing his name up, but now I mess around and say Cassius. I mean Ali. I mean that's how Dr. Umar, he didn't change his name. I'm
Right.
like, man, come on,
Right.
man.
And got
What I'm
murdered.
trying to figure out is why y'all wait 50 years to change y'all name, man. You know what I'm
Yasim
saying?
Bey.
Yeah. I mean, well, actually, I got that one. Y'all
You
Yasin
got
Bey.
that.
That's because when he changed it, remember we had just did the show, and I was downstairs, and he checked me, and the way he checked me, it was so humble but so stern that I haven't messed it up since. So think about it. He said it that night. He looked at me and said, "Bruh, for real, you gonna do what they do, Yasin Bey?" And it was like, oh, that hurt me to my core. So I was like, I won't mess that up no more. He just called me a white man on the low. That's what he just did. So that's
You
how
know
I got
that
that right.
Tommy. Uh
But
yeah, so the Cowboys ruined Jerry Jones' birthday. Got a shellacking. And so Ravens is doing their thing. Look out for Washington. What else in the
well,
headlines? That's
Detroit
about
didn't do break his leg last night. My nephew was sad because his dad's a Cowboys fan. He's a Detroit fan, and dude broke his leg, and he telling me the Detroit season is over. He said, "Man, we can't do it now. It's a wrap for us."
they saying that, yeah, that's a big their defense. That's a big Hutchinson. That's a
Yeah,
big, big
that's what my
blow.
nephew was saying. But you know who really disappointed me, or I was really sad about? College football. I watched Dion them on.
I don't watch enough, but I tell you, every time they play somebody that's really decent, I'm not into college
I
football.
know, but let me
Talking
tell
about
you, they had an opportunity to win this game. Their defense didn't show up. Their defense was horrible. And then you're gonna hear people say that Shador shouldn't have threw the ball downfield. That's what I've been hearing all the commentators say. You know, he went for it and it got intercepted. And I say this. I've been watching him for 2 years. More times than not, he hits that. So you can't get mad. Like I looked at it and said, "Well,
yeah,
he threw it. If he hit it, we'd be happy. It got intercepted. We gotta take that. When you can't now, if you start listening to Stephen A's and all them, you can't now get mad when that's how he play every week. Every week when he do his 2 minute drill, when he call it Brady time, and he throw the ball down the field, and we win the game, everybody's dancing in the stands. This time they was playing number 18 Kansas, and they said he gonna go downfield, catch the ball and bring it back, and that's what they did. He went downfield and they caught it. So I'm happy for Colorado. I mean, I like Shador. Plus, this is the other thing. They had 3 receivers out. Travis Hunter went out in the first quarter. They laid him out. And that was really bad. I was like, whoa, that's why you don't want him going both ways, because now our number one cornerback is out and our number one receiver
Mm,
all in one play. So I was like,
mm.
man, if I had an NFL team, he couldn't play both ways. I'm not getting ready to
Right,
lose 2 players
right,
because
right.
that hurt. I mean, we had nobody on defense to really help. And I'm like, man. So then they exploited that. Then we lost Horn Jr. He went out, and I was like, man. Then Miller got hurt in the third quarter, so 3 of the top receivers was out before the game was over. I was like,
Mm.
man, and we still, with 2 minutes left, we took the lead. We took the lead with 2 minutes left, and then the young man for Kansas scored in 17 seconds. They scored. We got the ball back with 1:43. That's how quick they scored. I said, what in the world is the defense doing? Y'all should have just moved out the field and let them go. But then I said, no problem. Shador do this every week. 2-minute drill. We about to have this. He marched all the way down the field. Last one through an interception. So it is what it is.
All right, man. See you Friday, Fat Tommy, yo.
I'll see you Friday. Have a good one. Peace, love, and soul logistics.